The biography of Baldwin Hills Village, now known as Village Green, is a story about power manifested in physical space. Built on the Rancho Cienega lands of Baldwin Hills Village was designed with the intention of creating affordable housing, especially in the wake of the Great Depression. However, oral histories from an original architect reveal that the architects maintained a close relationship with the Federal Housing Administration in realizing a shared vision of who deserves such a subsidy: professional white heterosexual couples with children and professional white singles.
Around the time of World War I, racially restrictive covenants were implemented as common practice for potential homeowners in Los Angeles. With these covenants in practice and a shared vision of an exclusive village green, the community developed homogeneously after its opening in 1942. In fact, LA historian Josh Sides says that there is no more effective tool in 20th century America as racially restrictive covenants in terms of keeping neighborhoods white. In 1940, Baldwin Hills Village was 99.5% white.
Between 1942 and 1949, Baldwin Hills Village maintained its Garden City ideal. Families recreated at the on-site clubhouse. They enjoyed the open green spaces, the playground, and the many recreational game areas. Housing was affordable, and the neighborhood was bolstered by its own security guards and regular groundskeepers who kept the landscaping pristine.
However, in 1949, the Baldwin Hills Village was purchased by a developer who swiftly made changes to the community. They carefully selected tenants from a long waiting list based on profession, income, race, family status. They removed all recreational features and children's play areas, and they were quick to evict tenants in violation of their no pet, no children policies. Furthermore, they utilized landscaping as a tool of exclusion by planting trees to specifically limit children's play areas and instructed gardeners to turn sprinklers on while children were playing.
Around the same time, in 1951, the LA Department of Water and Power completed the Baldwin Hills Reservoir Dam, just a couple miles south of the village. Though the dam served as an emergency supply of drinking water for local residents, the LADWP knowingly built it on a major fault line adjacent to an oil drilling field.
In the 1960s, the demographics were similar to those of the 1940s, 90% white and 7% black. In 1962, one of the original founders bought Baldwin Hills Village back. In 1963, the reservoir dam collapsed, sending 200 million gallons of water north down Cloverdale Avenue, destroying 65 homes, including 2 buildings in Baldwin Hills Village, damaging hundreds others and killing 5 individuals. 2 years later, and roughly 6 miles away, the neighborhood of Watts suffered greatly from the revolt that broke out, resulting in 200 buildings destroyed, 1,000 people injured, and 34 people died in the Watts Rebellion. Soon thereafter, local white residents fled from neighboring areas. In the years to come, the effects of the Watts Rebellion were felt throughout LA, but were hardest in South LA. To date, Watts was never rebuilt to its former reality.
In the following decade, the owner of Baldwin Hills Village brought back its original architect to address the flood damage and restore the village to its original condition. As a result of these renovations, the original children's playgrounds were permanently removed and replaced with trees. Alongside this physical imposition, the majority white community of Baldwin Hills Village branded themselves as Village Green, as it's known today. We speculate this was done to distance and disassociate the village from the Watts Rebellion, the growing black community of Baldwin Hills, and to further consolidate power by rebranding and exclusion.
In 1972, however, the use of racially restrictive covenants was lifted by the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Village Green could no longer uphold an overtly racist policy. We observe a slight increase in black residents at that time, for 93% white and about 7% black. Around the same time, Village Green was purchased by a new developer who further institutionalized the ban on children. While one layer of housing discrimination was formally lifted, another was upheld: ageism. A deed restriction specified that individuals under the age of 18 were not allowed to live there, and that women who became pregnant would be forcibly evicted.